Hi friends, welcome to my garden. Thank you for joining me today in my garden, and I wanted to take you along and give you a little tour of what's happening in my garden in August. And this is early August. I did not post an update last week as I was really busy and I didn't get a chance to walk around and show you what the garden was doing. But today I wanted to spend some time and show you what's blooming in my garden. Let's start with the backyard today, and with this fabulous new addition to my garden. This is the Azure Blue Satin Rose of Sharon standard that I added here, and it's blooming and looking really pretty. Love this color blue, and it's gorgeous. I garden here in Zone 6 in Toronto, and I have quite many beds in my garden, and I love sharing my plants with you and what's blooming in my garden and what in general I'm doing with plants and gardening. So here it is. This is my beautiful Rose of Sharon. It was just recently planted, and I think it's adapted well to this new home, and it's blooming beautifully and looking so gorgeous. I also have a lot of cone flowers that are still blooming and looking gorgeous. And lots of the heliopsis, the fall sunflowers, are also blooming, and they have been blooming now for a few weeks, and it's so nice to see them, this vibrant beautiful yellow color in the garden, and it looks so pretty with all the cone flowers, and it's just a beautiful happy summery sight in the garden. And I also have some sunflowers that are blooming that I wanted to show you, and they are just gorgeous. And I have some pesky animals that are breaking the sunflowers and eating them. As you can see, the stalks have been completely broken, and I found some sunflowers that were just so gorgeous, but they've been broken. But I have to take care of this. I'm going to cut them and I'm going to put them in a vase, because there is some animal, some critter that's breaking them and, you know, pulling them apart and eating them for some reason or the other. So that's okay, that's nature. I can't do much about it, but I wanted to share with you what's happening here. And it's really pretty in the garden right now. I have lots and lots of cone flowers in bloom, which are looking stunning. I also have some Zagreb coreopsis that I recently planted, and some meadow sage cardona, and that's also blooming and looking really pretty in the garden right now. And I still have some remains of lilies that are blooming. This is the tiger swirl lily. It's still blooming. It has a couple more blooms remaining, and then it's going to be done for this season. Love how giant these blooms are and how vibrant they are in the garden. I also have some dusk and sun heliopsis that's blooming here, and also some agastaki that's blooming there as well. And I also have some bee balm and veronica that's blooming in there in this garden as well. And it's looking so beautiful and vibrant with all these colors. This geranium Roseanne has been blooming as well. I have a plant on each side, and it's blooming along with this veronica, and more cone flowers, and lots more cone flowers in the back here as well. I have a sea of white cone flowers which look so pretty. I love these white cone flowers. They are so gorgeous and so pretty in the garden, and they add so much vibrancy in the garden, the white color, and it's beautiful. Even though they are plain white, they actually glow at night, and it looks really pretty. And here is my friend Ollie, who is sitting out here with me in the garden. It's been actually finally a bit of relief in the air, because it was so hot and dry and weather that I can't even explain how hot it was in the last couple of days. But for today we have some relief, so I wanted to come out here and show you what the garden is looking like. It went through a lot of beating due to the drought that we've had, but I think the clear winners are some of these drought tolerant plants like echinacea, black-eyed Susan, all the summer perennials. They are doing okay, and they are holding their own, so which is really nice. I still have lots of echinacea here, and I also have some cosmos that's blooming over here. Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous. It just started to bloom and it's looking beautiful. I also have some Russian sage here that is just starting to bloom as well. And I also have a couple more lilies here that are blooming and looking so pretty. And I also have some cadmium that is starting to flush out new blooms as well. And here is a white calamint that's also blooming and looking so pretty and being enjoyed by this beautiful bee here. And it's so nice to see that. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Things are looking good, holding their own, even after the severe weather. So I'm really happy about that. This is my new garden area. This is also doing really well. There is some blooms in there. There is one lily in the back there that's blooming, but the lilies there are almost done. I do have some coneflowers that are also blooming here. This area took a little while to settle in, but I think next year this should look a lot better. Lots of new plants that are settling in. Over here, my shade garden has been quiet. I mean, it's green and it's really, I think the shade garden took the most of the drought when we had it, because a lot of the plants here, they suffer when it's dry, because the soil as is very dry, and no matter how much I keep it watered, I mean, it's still quite dry in here. So I had to actually cut back my dogwoods that are here because they were really struggling. So I hope they recover, and if not, I may have to replace them or find a new home for them somewhere else in the garden and replant over here, because the hostas have been doing amazingly well. Even despite all the drought, they have really performed well in my garden. And here's another look at the shade garden. It's struggling, but it's, you know, it's not terrible. I mean, the hostas are doing good, which is nice. Some of them are even blooming, and they are looking healthy, so I am happy about that. Look at this one here. Isn't that beautiful? That's looking so gorgeous. I think this is the Shadowland Hulala. It's looking really pretty. And then I will walk around and show you my front garden, and show you what's happening there. So I do have some ligularia blooms here. As you can see, this is really pretty as well. And then lots of blooms here in the side garden. There is so much to discover all the time in this garden. I mean, there are black-eyed Susans that have started to bloom. There is echinacea that's blooming. I have some hydrangeas that are just starting to open and bloom. There's a lot of yellowing here because this plant was completely dried out. Yeah, I mean, things have struggled. It's what it has been, and I don't have irrigation, so I'm constantly watering. And sometimes it's not enough, right, to help the plants. So, you know, but I know they are perennials, so they will be okay, and they'll come back. But lots and lots of plants are happy and blooming in this spot. I have dahlias that are blooming. Lots of coneflowers are still blooming. And I have a bloom on my very awesome hibiscus there. Isn't that gorgeous? It's actually facing backwards, so I can't really see it. But that is my very first very awesome bloom. Isn't that gorgeous? Love how that looks. And I have some liatris that's still blooming. Lots and lots of coneflowers are blooming here, and my planters are doing really well. I have caladiums, I have portulaca, I have sweet potato vine. Everything is full and lush, and it's looking gorgeous. The planters are doing really well, and they're looking really nice in the garden. And over there I also have a full bed of phlox, and I have sedum that's about to, like, you know, open, and it has set all these buds, and I'm excited when all of that turns pink. And I have echinacea, I have black-eyed Susan, I have phlox, and you know, lots and lots of plants are going to come. Like, there's a lot of sedum that's going to come to life here in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about that. And you know, the roses are actually putting on a lot of new growth, so I'm hoping I get another round of roses before it's cold again, and I think I will, but I'm hoping for that. And yeah, so the garden here is looking really full. It's looking very colorful and beautiful, and I absolutely love how this is looking. My side garden is so colorful and beautiful right now, and I love looking at this view from my kitchen, and I'm just very happy with all the plants here, how they're doing. The lavender here is also continuously blooming, and it smells wonderful in here. Just a gorgeous spot. Now I'll walk over and show you what's happening in my front yard. The front garden, I'll start with the side first. The side has a lot of green here. There's phlox, there is roses that are putting on new growth, and just plants in general are feeling really lush here. I also have some tomatoes and curry leaf plant that's growing here. Lots of tomatoes to be harvested when they're ready, and that is my front yard spot, which is looking so colorful from this angle, and I'll walk around and show you what it looks like from the front. But I just wanted to show you what it was looking like. Don't mind all the construction mess there, but you know, the flowers are doing really well. I still have calendula blooming. I still have a lot of petunias that are blooming and looking great. This cherry truffles is putting on more flower spikes, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors there. And I also have a tiger swirl lily that is still blooming here, and some more buds to bloom. I think it's the last of these. I also have my Moody blue rose that is finally blooming. Again, this is its second flush, and lots of buds on this. It's gorgeous. And then lots and lots of verbena. It just is a constant force in this garden, and it's gorgeous. I also have some sunflowers growing there. I did not plant them there. I don't know how they got there, but they're beautiful, and they're a wonderful welcome in my garden. I just love how they look. And you know, lots of flowers are just bursting here, which looks great. I mean, the geranium roseanne is blooming so wonderfully. I have a big flush of roses on these also easy roses. They are looking just stunning and gorgeous, and I can't even tell you how many roses are on this plant right now. It's just absolutely stunning. And then I still have lots and lots of coneflowers that are blooming and looking absolutely gorgeous in this garden. So lots and lots of color here. I have my little geranium here that are blooming and filling in these spots. I also have creeping thyme that's really nicely spreading amongst all the weeds that I have to take out, but I am going to enjoy what's you know, here for now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why this peony is like wilting away, but I think it needs water. I will water it. But this is the liatris that's blooming, and I have a beautiful dahlia here which is blooming and looking just beautiful. I love this dahlia. I love the contrast of the leaves and the red color. Lots of coneflower that's blooming. I also have alyssum that is continuing to grow and spill over, and I think it looks fabulous with the coneflowers, and I love how it spills over the edges and it looks so pretty. Lots, I mean, look at this bubblegum soup petunia. I mean, it's massive now. It's completely veiling my sedum underneath, but it's okay. It'll bloom through it, and it'll still look good. Oh my God, I am not remembering the name. April night salvia. It's continuous. Thank you. It is. Just came to me what it's called. So this one is putting out new set of blooms, which is nice. And I have my little lime hydrangeas that have just started to bloom, and they look so pretty. They have this delicate creamy greenish color, and it looks really pretty in the garden right now. And this is my Homestead Verbena, which is like blooming its heart out, and it's looking gorgeous here. And here is the another look at the little limes. They are just stunning. Look at these beautiful blooms. They look very pretty, so green and beautiful. They have this beautiful limey color, which I love. They're so gorgeous. And yeah, and lots and lots of blooms. I have a little bloom on my Shropshire Lad Rose, which is fading, but it's a beautiful color. And yeah, lots. I mean, I have my Quickfire Fab there that is bloomed already, and I think it's changing color to a lighter pink now. which is beautiful, and lots of verbena. Look at this verbena, it's great, looks awesome. And I also have allium blooming here. This is serendipity. I have 2 of them that are blooming, and they are looking really pretty. Look at these, they are gorgeous. I have lots of calendula here as well. Lot more roses are blooming here. There is this one blooming here. This is Rosie the Riveter. This is blooming a lot of buds on it as well. And yeah, there are lots of roses blooming here. There is also some lilies that are blooming in the back there. They are still blooming. Just stunning. Look at how beautiful these are. Gorgeous. And I have dahlias that are also going to open up here. And lots of blooms really go everywhere in my front garden. The moonshine yarrow is still putting out new blooms, but the old ones are turning like a brown color, which need to be cut back, and they look gorgeous. And then lots more blooms here, lots of coneflowers. I do have agastaki that's blooming here. It's like constantly blooming now, and it's gorgeous. I love the colors. Love how the foliage just mingles with everything else. And I have lots and lots of coneflowers here that are looking gorgeous. And I have this variegated phlox that has just decided to open, and it is beautiful. Look at the colors on this. I love the variegation and the soft pink blooms that it has. Isn't that gorgeous? That's so gorgeous. I love how that looks. And then I also have some more lilies that are blooming here that are looking gorgeous, and especially with these blanket flowers and this Veronica. It looks awesome, the red and the purple combination. So yeah, this is what the front garden is doing. And of course the coreopsis is blooming. It keeps blooming all summer, and it's gorgeous. Lots of color here. And let me now walk over and show you what the driveway garden is looking like. I mean, there is a lot of Rose of Sharon blooming there, and I want to show that to you before I end the video. The mess that's happening here, but I want to show you this beautiful Rose of Sharon that is blooming. This is I think this one is the blue chiffon Rose of Sharon. It's actually not blue, it's a nice deep dark purple, and it kind of, when it fades, it gets a little bit more bluer, and then when it's open, it's a little bit more of this purple. But it is gorgeous. It's covered in blooms, and I love how this looks. It's a ginormous plant in my garden, and it's grown quite a bit over the last few years, and it pairs really well with this beautiful hydrangea. Look at the bloom on this. Look how big it is. I mean, it's a gorgeous hydrangea, and the blooms are just beautiful on this hydrangea. I can't even tell you how beautiful it looks. I just have to squeeze in between this this container that's here and these plants and show you what this looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? That hydrangea just looks beautiful. It's been in the ground now for almost 8 years, and it's quite mature, and it's beautiful. I had to cut it down quite a bit this winter because of snow damage, but it sprung back really well. And I really don't know the variety of this one, but it holds the blooms and the stems very strongly. I do not know the variety. I wish I had kept the name, but it's just a stunning, beautiful hydrangea, and it'll turn a nice pink as it ages. And the rest of the plants here, I mean, there are still lots of echinacea that's blooming here, and the sedum is getting ready to bloom. And yeah, roses occasionally are blooming in there, and the balloon flowers are also blooming in there as well. So that's it for this week's video about my garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in my next video. Please do join me as I post more updates on my garden. Thanks for watching.